Hey guys, so I just got back from seeing Dolphin Tale 2. I know this is a weird movie for me to be going to see, and I know I'm kind of like a month late in seeing it. Uh, I actually just got around to finally watching the first Dolphin Tale like a couple days ago. Um, as far as because I had never seen the movie, and this movie had been getting good reviews, and so had the first one. It was one of those movies I just kind of missed when it came out in 2011, and I heard good things about it. I just never got around to watching it until now. And you know what? The first one I thought was pretty good. I thought it was a harmless kids film. I had no problem with it. It was one of those movies I was just sat there going, that's something I saw. It was like, it was something I just saw. It's nothing I can really complain about. It was predictable. Honestly, it's one of those movies that was very predictable. You could see how it was all going to play out coming from a mile away. I remember at one point in the first one, like when they first introduce the cousin who is about to go in the military. He's talking about how he's like this really good swimmer and that he might have a future in college, and the only way he can pay for his college is if he goes through the military. You're like, well, that kid's dead. I was just like instantly, I was like, well, that kid's fucking dead. And then like later on in the movie, he was caught in an explosion, but he's injured. I was like, well, that's the second best. I was like, it was either he was dead or he was going to be injured. And it actually, I give points because I was like, well, is there really a purpose to the story? That kind of side subplot. And there is, because he does. I like that the fact that they do introduce. It does introduce the Morgan Freeman's character. It gives a reason for why Morgan Freeman pops up in this movie and where they meet, how this kid meets Morgan Freeman. It actually, explains that enough. But yeah, like I said, I liked the movie. I thought it was an interesting movie. I thought the dolphin was adorable. It was really likable, and I'm a fan of dolphins. I mean, they're pretty cool fucking animals. But yeah, I thought it was alright. I remember saying it's basically Free Willy, but with dolphins. And if Free Willy didn't have a tail, it's basically what it is. It really is. It's basically what it is. And except for and also Free Willy never got to go back in the ocean because he's a freak of nature. Sorry. But anyways, I was kind of like hesitant with this one because it's like, really, why is there a reason for there to be another movie? Like there's no purpose really to continue this story. I was like, maybe, but the reviews have been good. I'm like, all right, maybe it'll be all right. And you know what? It was. I like this movie about as much as I like the first one. Maybe even some parts a little bit better than the first one. It was a good sit. It was one of those movies that flew by pretty quickly. It's a movie that of all the kids movies out there, it's one of those movies. It's not a bad one to go take your kids to go see. You won't be bored by it. It's kind of charming. It's kind of it's got decent acting, pretty good acting. It's got a lot of good things about it. It's nothing really bad about it. I'll give praise to the kid actors in this movie. I thought they were good. I thought they were good in the first one. I thought they were good in this one. It's kind of funny to see them all, like, 3 years later now they're more grown up, especially the girl. She's all grown up now, like a teenager. And I swear to God, am I not the only one who thinks that boy looks like Josh Hutcherson? I swear to God, if you would have told me that wasn't Josh Hutcherson, I didn't know Josh Hutcherson was older now, I swore that would have been him. It looks just like him. I swear. That kid has to be related somehow to that kid. Or Josh Hutcherson. And he's alright. It's one of those movies that there isn't really a standout performance. And there never was. Honestly, I thought honestly the stars of the shows were the Dolphins, because honestly the Dolphins do a pretty damn good job, like, expressing emotions Like the um when they're saying that Winter's depressed in this movie, she looks depressed. The acting by the Dolphins is actually pretty good. In this movie, I actually gotta give them props for that. From what I've been told, those are the actual. Winter is playing herself in the actual movie, and I don't know if that's the same Dolphin that's playing Hope. I think it is. But that's pretty cool though. I think that's pretty awesome, and I think they do a good job. I also, like with the first one, this is like a pretty cool story. It's an inspirational story. I mean, it's a story you can get behind because, I can see why, people get inspired by this kind of thing because, if you're an amputee and stuff like that, you see a dolphin like this being able to still live without a tail, even if it's with a prosthetic. It's pretty cool. Well, like I said, also with the acting, really, honestly, it's more. This movie is more focused on the kids a lot more than the first one. I felt because honestly, a lot of the adult actors are not in this movie that much, especially Ashley Judd and Morgan Freeman. Oh my god, like they're barely in this thing. They just pop in and out every so often. Morgan Freeman honestly, he just pops up like in 2 scenes and that's about it. But she wasn't really much in the first one, but he has one of my. He has my. The hell? Sorry, that's my phone going off. He has probably my favorite line in the whole movie when he's talking about when they're about to deliver the new Dolphin, Hope, and he goes, well, I hope it's not missing a limb, because if she's missing a head, there's not much I can do for her. That actually made me laugh. I thought that line was pretty funny. That actually was pretty funny. But yeah, like, everybody, there's not really a standout performance. I thought the Dolphins were stars of the show, honestly. I also really like about this movie is that it takes a realistic approach to a lot of things. Like, it addresses the fact that dolphins need to be grouped together, and if they're not, that's against the law. They have to be partnered with another dolphin. And it's something I've heard of before myself. And also, I do like the fact that at one point there was a dolphin that they find that was her name was Mandy, who they honestly could have tried to pair it with Winter, but when they figured when at a certain point Mandy gets better and is given a clean bill of health, and they have no choice but to release the dolphin into the wild, because that's against the law. They're first and foremost a animal hospital, and once the animal is recovered, their job is to release it back into the wild. And I'm glad they took the realistic approach and going, yeah, we have no fucking choice. We have to do this. They're not fucking SeaWorld. They don't keep these animals in captivity for fucking ever, like fucking SeaWorld does. It does some really heinous things to them. Fuck SeaWorld. Seriously, yeah, like after that movie Blackfish, oh my god, I swear, like, it's funny, like, how much this is going off on a rant, but it's funny how SeaWorld is trying to backtrack so much, because that movie has made such an impact. By the way, if you've never seen Blackfish, oh my god, go fucking watch that movie. That movie's disturbing as hell. I think I did a brief review, like, a year ago when I talked about that. I said I was really disturbed by some of that shit. It's like the dark side of SeaWorld that most people didn't know about, but they just kind of turned a blind eye to until that movie ever came out. But I like that fact that they didn't keep the dolphin. They had no choice, even though it risked the idea. It was pretty much a risk because they could lose Winter if they didn't pair a female dolphin with her. I did like that. I also like the fact that who's the that when they first Winter and Hope finally interact with each other, um, it honestly is a realistic like interaction, because I actually was like, huh, because I like the fact that Hope was like she sees Winter that has no tail, and like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Reacts in a natural way, I thought. A very natural way, like kind of freaked out by the fact that it has no tail and it's not swimming right. Um, it's like that's, and I did, but then at the same time I was kind of taken aback by the fact that like 2 minutes later, the characters in the movie had to try to explain that to us, even though it's fucking, they didn't really need to. That wasn't really necessary, because you could kind of tell what was going on through just like interactions between the dolphins, why they were kind of acting a little violent towards one another. It's pretty fucking evident. Like, the dolphin Hope looks at like the tail, or that finds or sees that Winter has no tail, and it's kind of freaked out. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's not like something that we need the characters to tell us, like via dialogue. I thought that was kind of annoying. That was one of the things that was annoying. As far as anything that really bugged me, that and it is it has some cliched dialogue in it. It is pretty. Some of it was groan worthy, like the way they come up with the name Hope was kind of like, it's like nobody fucking talks like this. Kind of like one of those, but it wasn't like prevalent throughout the film. It didn't drive me nuts that much. Also, like the first one, it is predictable. I mean, there's no real suspense at all. Honestly, it's a fight. I knew the story. I knew that they're both still in the Clearwater Aquarium, both Hope and Winter. So I knew that at the end they would, like gel together and everything else, become good friends, all that hoopla. And I'll give points to this. This is something I gave points to when it came to the first one. That they didn't go for the obligatory love story. Like in the first one, they didn't go for the obligatory love story between Ashley Judd and Harry Connick Jr., which they could have. They hinted at it very briefly and then just didn't go anywhere with it. I was kind of glad, because it was like, that's just like too fucking easy of a story to go with. And also with in this one with the kid and the girl, Hazel, they could have gone with that, but they hint at it, but then they go nowhere with it by the end of it. I like that. So at least they didn't keep it too predictable, but it's still, I mean, it's not, there's no real sense of like danger, or, like I felt that, I felt the same way with the first one too. Because, I mean, first off, it's a fucking... Even if I didn't know the story, I'd be like, it's a fucking kid's movie. The dolphin's not going to die. Although, a dolphin does die at the beginning of this movie. That's how this whole movie starts out, is because the one dolphin that was like 40 years old and was deaf dies. That dolphin was basically Winter's companion, and then Winter goes into depression because of that. That's the whole story behind it. Honestly, I recommend it. It's one of those movies, if you want to take your kids to the movies, it's honestly a really harmless movie to see. It's probably one of the better kids movies out there. Honestly, there's a lot of movies I gotta catch up on, and pretty much all of them are kids movies that are getting really well received, like Alexander and the terrible no good bad day, or whatever the fuck that thing's called, and Box Trolls, and the Book of Life, and also I gotta watch sometime in the near future Maze Runner. which I hear really good things. Also, I got St. Vincent coming. Just came to my theater. No fucking Birdman. I'm still pissed. We haven't got Birdman yet. I'm really mad about that. I am the closest I might. This is one of those movies that I might go to extreme lengths. I might go fucking see it at like drive an hour to go see that movie because I really want to see that. If you saw any of my me talking about the trailer, I've been looking forward to that movie ever since I first saw the trailer. It looks amazing. I hear really good things about it. Now I'm just going on about different movies, but anyways, go see Dolphin Tale 2 if you. I mean, it's at the cheap theater, so you don't have to pay much. I'll be back probably by tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. I'll be back with a review, my last horror review for the month of October, which is going to be Curse of Chucky. I decided it's going to be Curse of Chucky. Again, I've heard really good things about it. I decided I was going to go see that or watch that instead because nothing really else really interested me. Like, I've been hearing good things about Curse of Chucky for about a year now, so I want to finally check it out. So I'll be back tomorrow with a review for that, and I'll talk to you guys later.